Yo, 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 yo.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
hmm
Good to be back.
It is. It is.
I'm excited. Let's kick it off. Let's share.
hmm If you guys are listening to us, I know we got two people on. Please share this with your networks. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. And so we're looking forward to kicking off the new year, hearing from parents like you guys and updating you just on some of the things we know that's going on in education that we want to get your feedback on. So go ahead and like and share. And if you're coming in, tell us good morning. I see we got Visha, we got Victoria. Happy New Year to you as well. And we'll just start off with just talking about how our New Year's been. But Torvis, can you just tell us how was your winter and Christmas break?
It was I guess refreshing. It's kind of different because usually you're out during the summer. I mean, during the wintertime, you're out shopping. Everybody's out shopping, but this was kind of different. You did most of the shopping online. It was
Mm,
more time of being at home, just watching some movies and just doing family stuff inside the house. So we spend time together on the holidays, really at home.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll say for me, I think I like what you said. It was restful. It gave me an opportunity. Kids wasn't in virtual school, so we got a chance to really just sit on the couch. We decorated Christmas trees. We went out when it was warm days out walking and riding. And it's just, yeah, school starts back tomorrow, but it really gave us an opportunity to just reconnect with our loved ones. We usually do like a big Christmas dinner, canceled that, but I did get a chance to bring my sister over for Christmas. She spent the night with us, woke up on Christmas, we cooked like a feast and got a chance to eat. So it's just what the doctor ordered, I guess.
All right. For me, y'all know what I did. Sit over here and gain more weight. But just took the opportunity to like reset. Uh,
hmm
I didn't work.
hmm
They tried to get me to work. They tried to call me and get me to work, but I didn't. I made a promise to my children that I would get some rest, and I did. And I
hmm
feel refreshed. I feel renewed, um, and ready to continue to build this movement with the great parents and grandparents from our most struggling community right here in Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm excited about the work we're going to do this year, and I'm excited about the vision coming to pass. And Nashville will have a world class education system.
hmm Amen. Let's start 2021 off right. And Kanisha, how was your holidays? How did you spend it during this Christmas break?
I spent it with my husband and my two boys, just us, bonding, having fun, doing karaoke, and just enjoying one another. It was wonderful, wonderful time.
hmm And so, just some of the things that we're going to talk about. I mean, a lot has happened over the last, several months. So, a few things like we want to talk about this special session that's coming up in the state legislature. When we say the special session, they are going over millions of dollars. And so, want to get feedback from you guys, but also want to see what do you want to see addressed. We want to talk about back to school. For a lot of schools, it starts tomorrow. For some schools, I know it started on Tuesday and Wednesday, but we want to hear from you guys. Like, what are you excited about related to back to school? What do you want to be true related to your child's education? Meaning, like, what are your expectations? What are the outcomes that you want to see? But more importantly, what does success look like? And then those are some of the good things. And then some of the things that we think about when we hear from parents, like what is keeping you up at night as you think about this new school year starting? And with that, do you think more parents feel the same way? And so we'll jump right into that. And Sonia, I know you are a resident expert on things that are happening at the state. And so can you kind of give us an abbreviated version of what's happening come the third week of January?
So on January 19th, the state legislators will convene for an emergency session, which would include a discussion around a $1.1 billion stimulus package for education that the federal government has put out. And so let's just talk about locally what that means. Locally for Metro Nashville public school students, there is potentially close to $110 million. And that money is going to be used for learning loss and for capital spending. When you think about capital spending, you think about, you guys have heard Christian Buzz talk about capital spending. It's about building, maintenance, those types of things related to infrastructure of buildings. And so some of that money, a percentage of that money will be able to be used for that. It is not for building gyms and gym maintenance and sport facility maintenance. That money can only be used for things such as expanding maybe space for in-person. Though it has to be COVID related. Remember, this is a COVID type stimulus package or emergency package. It's called SR2. The first one was SR1, but this is SR2, and this money will need to be spent by September 2023. Also, the discussion in that emergency session will be about learning loss. It'll be about teacher pay. They'll talk about the accountability protocol, not penalizing districts for, let's say, enrollment. This is not about BEP or per pupil spending. That stimulus money, I'll go back to that, is used in a sense of like Title I money and not per pupil or BEP. Then also, you guys know that the education commissioner and the governor announced their Reading 360 program, which supports literacy. It is not a literacy bill. It's just optional type of support for school districts that they can tap into and be able to support reading. It is not a fix for literacy, and I want to be clear on that. It is not a fix for literacy. If anybody from the state level or the local level is listening, this is not a fix, and we want a fix. So let's be clear on that. So that's what this emergency legislative session is about.
Yeah. So as you guys hear, like, it is a lot going on. There's a lot of money coming down the pike. There are some lofty ideas that are coming on how we fix education, mainly tied to literacy. And we want to make sure parents know and understand. So be on the lookout. We're going to talk, dig a little bit more deeper into that as we go through. We also have one of our fellow cohort alumni, Kanisha Burke, that's going to talk about some of the things that's been going on in her life as a parent. And so we just want to hear from you guys. Like, how are you feeling about this new school semester? Are you excited about it being virtual? Are you disappointed? Do you think that's where we need to stay? Like, how is the new virtual school year affecting you? And Torvis, we'll start with you.
Well, to me, it's really not an option going back into school because we still have rising numbers daily. You've seen a lot of teachers have died. So it's not really an option of going back to school. And so with that option off the table, the option of being at home, you just got to make sure that that's the best it can be as far as the instruction, the curriculum, the counting attendance, everything is dealing with the homeschool or being virtual, computers, access, Wi-Fi support. So this stuff needs to be make sure it's done correctly. We've had a semester already or half a year of doing it. So just like everybody make New Year's resolutions, every year I'm gonna do this in the New Year. So it's time to get things right. We've had a practice on doing it, but we still shouldn't have the same issues that we've been having in 2020. It's 2021. So it's time to go forward and make sure that what we have, make sure we put the proper procedures, people in place, and even the proper money in place to help out with 2021.
Wait a minute, say that loud for the people in the back again. We need the money to go where?
The proper money proper resources to go exactly where it needs to be going to make sure the things are done properly and done right. Don't keep saying we don't have the money, because we're hearing a lot of money coming down the pipeline.
Say it
A
again.
lot of money.
Say it
A
again.
lot of money. A lot of money is coming down the pipeline. We're talking about millions here and millions there. So we got to make sure this money is put in place. I don't want to hear we don't have the money. We don't have the money. You have the money.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can put the money at? You know, you got to take care of what you have. But now you got to fund this part of the money. So let's make sure that this money is where it needs to be. And people, we taxpayers, we need to know where this money is going. Don't say you got $102 million and we don't have enough money to buy a computer charger. But where does the money go?
Mm-hmm.
Transparency, accountability, 2021.
2021.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You know what? That reminds me of the preamble of the Constitution. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. We want justice. We want our money. We want what we want. The Constitution, the goal of the Constitution was for people to get what they need, what they want, and to be taken care of, and to have freedom and liberties and equity and equality. Give it to us.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't fulfilled its goal yet.
Alicia, what are you thinking as you hear this and as you think about your experience of getting ready for back to school?
I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you I'm really guarded.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a 5th grader who has been out of Metro and homeschooled because they were not adequately prepared to do him in the virtual realm, and so he's homeschooling right now,
Mm-hmm.
which for me, it's a disservice to him, I think, because he's lost the ability to be able to communicate with his peers. But, you know, his education has to come first. And nobody's going to put his education first from what I have learned other than I am at this point. So I had to do that. I have a freshman who is in virtual, and I see that virtual, as Torvis has said, you know, they're not doing the things that need to be done to make it successful. Attendance is one. You know, getting truancy letters the day after Christmas kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that a little bit, Kanisha. So let's talk about that a little bit, because I think that we have to amplify the voices of other parents. And this is something, you know, people were wondering why we went to the school board earlier in the month of December, around 1:15 in the afternoon, with horns blazing. And this was one of the reasons why. It's because children are not in school, and they're not in school for a reason, or they're either being counted absent and they are present in school. And I think that we need to discuss that. So can you tell that story a little bit, please?
Okay, so my son has been in virtual school. He's a freshman in high school, first year. So he's been in school since school started. And, you know, we were told you log on to Schoology every day. That's how your attendance get counted. I probably received 3 notices that he had not been in class, and it was on PLT days. And if you don't know what that is, that's his personal learning days, where they just go into office hours. And on those days, I contacted, let them know Marco was there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No notices the whole entire year that my child has not been in school. And then the 2 days after Christmas, we get a truancy notice saying my son has been truant. Okay. Not to mention, then yesterday, because I called up Miss Sonia yesterday. Yesterday, I started getting notifications on the parent app of these different absences, all on the same day. They just different dates. They just listed them. How is this possible? How is this possible? So I'm upset, as you can see, but I'm also concerned, because my child is, if you're saying he's not there, if you're saying he's not getting the schoolwork, why aren't we communicating with each other? Because anytime I have a problem, I communicate. Anytime I have an issue, I communicate, but you are not communicating with me.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because, you know, I laugh at people. I'm gonna tell this little piece of story, and it ties in because I was talking to a community leader earlier in the week, and there's another organization that says, you know, Nashville Propel, you know, and you know, I don't care. I told them, well, tell them to call me. I tell them what we're about.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't lied yet.
Yeah.
This woman is not lying. These parents are not lying. And we're going to stand up for them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to amplify their voices because they are the unheard voices. Kanisha has been emailing. She sent me the emails. She's been emailing like she's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the chain of command, teachers, principals. She had to call the customer service desk. Then she was sent to Scott, whoever that is.
All right.
Then Scott sent her to somebody else. The system is set up to wear you out.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you that yesterday. I'm checking out at Walmart, about to steal stuff out of Walmart, forget to scan it. I had to stop. But they take me that way.
Would have got you on that one.
Yeah, you know, y'all know I be getting passionate, baby. I forgot what I was doing. I was getting fired up. But I wanted to point that out, that parents, if you have received a letter, we need you to inbox us today.
Yes.
You've gotten a truancy letter. We need you to inbox us today.
Mm-hmm.
And then we need you to send us your phone number, because then we're going to call you. So if you're out there, you're listening, share this with other parents. If you hear from other parents that are saying they're having the same issue, send us their number so that we can get this taken care of. Thank you for sharing that, Kanisha.
Yeah.
Some other out there that needed to know that they're not alone.
You know, back in December, we was making phone calls about the people getting truancy letters, and then some of the parents have said that they contacted somebody and they was telling them the system was messed up. It was an accident. I said, how do you accidentally send out 24,000 truancy letters?
Ain't no accident.
Really? You can't accidentally send out. That's accidentally spend a whole lot of money just because I'm accidentally. But since it was an accident, where's the communication on it? Where was it fixed? What was the problem? Because these same people got truancy letters, and you don't expect them to come to court. And even with the fact that we went to the school board, you just cut the kids out of school. You just kick them out of school because of the system. It wasn't working. So where's the transparency and accountability about this so-called accident that people still got truancy letters?
Let me tell you something. This is not an accident. What it is, truancy is connected to the criminal justice system. Okay, it's another way to introduce children and families to the criminal justice system. And that's why we need you guys to send us a message to let us know what is going on. If we need to lawyer up, we need to lawyer up together. Because, you know, we're talking about court dates. If parents don't show up, we have parents that don't understand the truancy letter. They don't understand the consequences of it. And we want to make sure that we're educating them. We work for parents. We don't work for the system. We don't work for MNPS. We work for parents and grandparents from our most struggling communities. And that's what we're going to do. And so if you know of anybody, again, I'm going to say this again, who has received a letter of truancy, or even if they're not even to the point of receiving a letter, but they're getting absences reported and they know that their children are doing their work, they're signed in, please contact us, because we need to go to the board. We need to go several places. We have a plan for that, to where we need to rectify this issue. We have children who are out of school, who have learning disabilities, who still don't even know how to log in. So we need to get these issues addressed. And by the way, the principal at Maplewood, I done emailed you once, so now I'm gonna call you out. I ain't got no response. You need to respond back to me. Thank you. Y'all tell her. I know somebody on here looking. Tell her.
And I mean, just to co-sign on Sonia, I sent my son principal two emails, one in reference to his grades and one in reference to the truancy letter. I have not heard back. And I spoke to Sonia the other day. When I initially spoke with the gentleman down at the district, he said that about a 72-hour response. And I contacted him back. Yes, I contacted him back and asked for a copy of that policy. He then called me and said, "Oh, no, we just try to tell parents to wait 24 to 48 hours to get contact."
Are y'all listening to this?
Right.
Did y'all hear that?
Right.
She called me and she said, and I said, you call. I said, I want you to do me a favor. Call Scott and tell him to send you a copy of that. Now he backtrack. I said, it wasn't no copy.
All right. And just to give updates on what people are saying. And so, Angela says the system is crazy. There's no reason to pass out truancy letters. Why are parents being penalized during a pandemic? Janie, Miss Bobby, who is going to be in cohort 7, says she's telling the truth. Everything that she's saying, I'm a witness. The system is set up to wear you out. A quote from Sonia. Miss Pickney said, I received an attendance letter, but not a truancy letter yet. And then cohort 3, Miss Gordon said, I had the same problem, but no truancy involved. But this makes kids want to quit and give up. I get it. It's very frustrating that they can't see the kids are present, and Malik School doesn't have Schoology. I will be sending my friends and family you guys' way. So we are getting good feedback. She believes it. They say, tell it, Sonia. Metro has one of the hardest school systems to navigate. No uniformity, limited success, a full garbage can. And then Marnisha, one of our alumni, I'm one of them. And Ms. Zerka says, that's my child. And so this is why we're addressing it, because we realize that this has just become a huge issue with everybody. And thank you guys for responding, because this gives us, it's one thing to think about it and think it's happening. It's another thing to hear from Kanisha and say it's happening to her. But when we put this video out and we hear from tons of parents just in this limited environment, we know it's something important. And so thank you guys.
Also, John, on that, making phone calls and talking to parents, one of the issues was they were saying to the kids, they had to just log on. The first was they just need to log on, they get counted for the day. Then the issue came out with 3,600 kids still haven't logged on. Then it was, they started to get choice letters, but then some of the phone calls the parents was getting was they had to log off. So I'm like, you got to log off. So at the end of the class, you got to log off. You just can't shut the computer down because it's going to count the absent. So just think about this. You're concerned about them logging on and logging off. You're just concerned about what's in the middle, what they're supposed to be learning. So log on and log off to be counted. Where is it just don't make sense to me at all.
And let me just say, Schoology is a learning management system, okay? Every keystroke they can see. So if you're telling me that y'all, it's laziness to me, I'm sorry, that's the only word I can think of, that you want to count log on and log off as opposed to run the report and see what that child has done in Schoology for the day, because you can do that. So you as a teacher or an administrator should be doing more than just seeing whether the child logged on or logged off for the day. Because if they've been logged on for the whole week, have they done any work? Have we checked that out? As Torben said.
Yeah, and some of the kids are struggling. Like y'all know I'm very transparent. Some of the kids are struggling so bad that they ain't logging in. Some of them are not in certain subjects. I know of a child that especially the English class, he'll log on to the class that it's not as hard for him. See, children have an innate sense of survival. They are going to do what's easier. Your children with ADD, probably ADHD, they struggle with that too. They will they will flourish in things that really interest them and they can hone in on those things that are not, they will procrastinate. It's very important that that educators communicate with parents before there's 2 or 3 absences from a classroom. Because you best believe if they call me about CJ Trinity and they're not in class, y'all gonna hear me hollering up them steps. I mean, John and them done been on the call with me, and I done got a text from a teacher. I put this thing on mute and I be screaming so loud, "Get out here!" You know, and so we gonna handle our business at home, okay? But you got to help us out and let us know. My son started school yesterday. He started school yesterday. So everybody else going back today. Mine started yesterday. Top of the week. They ain't playing over there at Liberty.
Yeah. So yeah, Victoria says you're so right. So let me just pull up this policy on attendance. Let's just take a look at that and see what is the actual policy for attendance in MNPS for the virtual. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, we see it.
We see it. This is the new one, John.
Yeah, this is the new one they got for.
Wait a minute. Stop. Say that again for the people in front of you.
Yep, this is the new one they got for us.
Okay, so when was this? Okay, so when was this implemented?
And so I would say maybe it's been here, but it took some searching. And so I went, because after hearing about your conversation with Kanisha, I was like, well, I hear this, so let me see. So it says, this is the new attendance code D for distant learning. And if you go to the first bullet point, it says students attending remotely must log into Schoology by 11:59 each instructional day and actively engage in learning opportunities. 4 minutes. If you want to log in at 11:59, you got to engage and do it for a minute. And then those interactions, it requires 24 hours to process. And then there's an attendance secretary who pulls the absent Schoology activity report from Shep. So what they're doing, they're pulling this report, and if they don't see Kanisha's son on here, then that's when they spring it into action. But we need to understand, what is this absent Schoology activity report, and how can we have access to it so we can see as parents how it's really going?
Yes. So with my daughter, she has, what they do is they've asked them to also to comment in the chat and say present.
Yes.
So I got phone calls that she was absent. And so that was in the beginning of December. So I said, start screenshotting it. So see, sometimes you just got to have some stopgaps and some backdoor stuff to do. I said, every time you log in, take a picture of it. I said, because they ain't got they together. But I'm going to tell you what about children. Children are very intelligent. When my daughter, when I told her that they said she was absent, she said, "What's the phone number?" I call up there and get this straightened out. I gave it to her, 615-860-1401. I know it about hard. And I gave it to her. And she said, I'm going to have to call up. And she said, they ain't even answering the phone. She was so mad. Now,
Tanya, Michael Jr. sent some emails.
Now, my daughter is struggling in virtual. Okay, she's struggling. She came out of private school. She is used to rigor and interaction. She's one of those children and people you gotta push. You know what I'm saying? Have you done this? Have you done some that are like that, right? Did you complete that? And man, like me as a parent, I have struggled with her. Like we done had knockdown, drag out, because she'll wait and she'll do all of them at once and be like, well, I got 100 in the class now. It's because it ain't even challenging her. So she's like, I do 15 assignments at one time. And then mama, but I got an A. And so I'm trying to help her to understand it's not a good practice to do that. But the expectations at the school level is not even there. It's just not. And so I'm having to say, no, you need to we're not going through that this semester because you stress me out.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they text me and some of the teachers have been really good at Hunter's Lane, I want to shout them out with communicating with me. She ain't turning in the math assignments. She ain't done it. So I want to shout out those teachers, but every parent should be getting that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Every parent should be getting that type of communication because they say the first sentence to come out their mouth, guess I cut them off. I got it. I'm gonna take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got to talk long to me because I'm finna straighten that out, and they know I am. But that's relationship liberty. I got good relationships with the principals and teachers. CJ ain't doing something, they know to text me and call me, and I told them I want it now. Don't wait until a week or 2 or 3 or 4 weeks later that he ain't paying attention in class. No, I'm gonna walk my tail right up them steps and say, "What you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of parents are at work. And so I'm at work too, but I'm working from home.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of parents are out, essential workers. They need the communication quickly.
Yeah.
So that they can handle it. And that's all we're asking.
Yeah, James Brown says I'm having issues with messages about her grades. My daughter went straight to emailing the teacher. Yeah, I think our kids are extensions of us, and so it's funny when you see your kid email or make that phone call because we know where they got that from.
Yeah. But not only that, the one thing that I have told my son, and when we started this semester, was this. This is my expectation. Every email you send, I want to be CC'd on. Every email. Every email you send. I was like, you do not put stuff in the chat box. You don't send instant messages. You send emails and you CC me on them, because here's the thing. If nothing happens when there's no evidence, right? I want evidence that you have done what you said you have done. If you have a question to ask and you need an answer, I want to be CC'd on it, because at this point, y'all telling me he's not doing something, so he needs to. I want him to be his own activist a little bit, and but include me in, because see, when I see what you doing, then I know. Well, he asked you, you didn't give it to him.
Yeah, be really leery of them during the chat messages, because I had a parent, I had to get her to take a picture of that because the teacher was talking funky to the child in the chat message, talking crazy to the child, cash money crazy, and I said, take a picture of it. Emailing is going to be the best way. And when you have a phone call, ask them to follow up in an email, the conversation. You got to have a clear documentation and know who you're talking to. When Kanisha and I were talking yesterday, I was like, okay, who's Scott? I was stopping her in the middle of her sentence. She was like, I talked to who's Scott? I don't know who Scott is. Scott
his full name, Sean. You got his full name.
Yeah, and she did. She got it. But I always ask him, who's Scott? Scott could be the that's my friend, my little security guard over at the customer service. He always want to talk to you about stuff. I want to know who these folk are that we talking to. So know who you talking to. Because see, Scott gave her some information yesterday that wasn't true. And I'm gonna charge to his head, not his heart. He might not have meant to, but it's just a prime example of the miscommunication that we as parents receive from people who probably mean well sometimes, but they don't know. And we need to talk to people that know.
Yep. And Pamela says, you're right, like CC the parents on all emails. So that's a good tip.
Yes.
I wanted to bring up the other thing about when we talk about CCing parents on our emails, because there's the Remind app, there's all these little apps that do communication or whatever, but our kids primarily receive emails. So like my son has received emails from the school, from key stakeholders about things that need to be done that I didn't receive. So that's another issue. Why are we emailing a child, even as young as in the 5th grade? Why are you emailing children deadlines about certain things that adults need to handle?
Mm-hmm.
Are we expecting them to relay that to us? You will do a robocall about school being canceled, but you're not going to do a robocall about something that's so important that's going to make sure my child graduates from school?
Girl, my mama get a message and she just gets so pissed off. She said, did you get that message? Why are they calling me?
What do you think, Tori?
That's a way for them to say, well, we told Trinity. You don't need to tell Trinity. I'm the parent. You talk to the parent. Even with these emails, all the kids have emails, and a lot of parents don't even know the kids even have emails. We don't know what the password is, but I don't really like her to use email. Email me. Torvis at George at. I don't want you to Trinity at nothing. Because Trinity is a child. Email the parent and talk to the parent, so you can't say, well, I told Trinity this and told Trinity that. No, tell me. And I only, like I told her, also this email, everybody knows if your child goes to a certain school, it's going to be your child name at whatever school they go to. So that's not really secure to me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows what these kids' emails are. Email directly to me. I don't want to see them in Trinity's email. I bet not.
And what grade is your daughter in?
His daughter in the 3rd grade.
Yeah, like who? Yeah, what's she doing? Like what she know? Yeah, I asked you what grade is your daughter in, and Sonya said the 3rd grade. She ain't even learned how to type that good yet without one finger. Like,
yeah, she's straight hitting delete.
If it ain't TikTok, she don't know it.
Lord Jesus, help us, Heavenly Father, God, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yep. And I want to transition to what are expectations academically for your children this school semester. But before that, just want to highlight some parents I've seen jumping on. I've seen Candace Brewington jumping on, just starting off the new year. She didn't miss a show last year, so I always like to highlight that. I see cohort 3. Ivory Wilson, who is checking in, alumni. Then I see cohort 4, Jordan Majors, who is also on one of our committees. Shout out to Jordan for being an awesome alumni. But like, as I shout them out, but this is what I want to talk about now. Virtual school, at least until after MLK Day, which is the 3rd week of January, more than likely, we're not going back even after that. What are your expectations just academically for your kids? And really, just before we start that, how is virtual learning going? Let's get that. How did it go last year, and what are your expectations for this year?
Which one of these do you want to go first, John?
Torvis, go and kick us off. What are your expectations for virtual learning this year, Torvis?
I expect quality, strong curriculum, equity, technology. I'm gonna expect her to be able to learn things that's gonna be used for transverse learning. It's gonna give her the foundation. You start off with a foundation. You start off with a lot of land, but every year you want to add on to it. So I'm gonna build a house. I'm gonna add on to it every year. So she's in 3rd grade now, so every year we should be adding on to it. If we don't do something right in 2nd grade, the house gonna fall down. So we want to make sure that everything's done through college and in life. Period. So I'm expecting some strong. It's a song. I know I can't sing, but it's a song that say "Clean up what you messed up." First song. So I'm expecting 2021 to clean up what you messed up, and we're gonna start it all over again.
Yep. Kanisha, what are your expectations as we think about it? I know you got that truancy letter, but what are your expectations just when you think about this new school year in the virtual?
Oh, my expectations are communication, number one. I expect there to be a lack of ambiguity in what they're providing as far as assignments for our children. So, there needs to be some clear line of direction and how these classes are going. We should not have one teacher on Teams and another teacher on Zoom. We need to be clear on what's going to happen so that these kids don't have to follow 15 different steps to get to success. It's like, I want them to remove the roadblock is what I would like to see. That's my expectation You know, I think that we also need to, they're throwing out these little seminars about, let's talk about showing the parents how to use Schoology. I think really we need to start making sure they know how to use Schoology. Show me that you know. Send me some reports from Schoology so I know you know how to use it, so I'm more confident in what my child is doing. Because I'm tired of seeing cutting and pasted stuff from textbooks being put in Schoology and kids answering multiple choice questions all day. I mean, so I ain't gonna keep going, but I want some transparency. I want quality over quantity, please.
Quality over quantity. That's big. What about you, Sonia?
I don't want us to return to business as usual. I want to see some bold leadership. And what I mean by that is leaders have to be accountable. Leaders have to be accountable. Leaders build other leaders. I want to see that leadership is built from the top into the classrooms, building teacher leaders, building children as leaders. I want to see a plan, a clear plan to recover our children from this learning loss. I want to see the digital divide closed. I want to see parent partnership. I want to see parent empowerment and not just educator empowerment. Those are the things that I believe will lead us to having a world-class education system. I would like to see some accountability with money. Money is being given out everywhere. And nothing has changed. It's gotten worse. There is so much waste going on with money. No accountability and no clear plan or budget as to what to do with the money. This $110 million that MNPS is going to be able to apply for, they got to do it by the beginning of February. I want to see that plan. It's got to be submitted to the state and approved. What are we going to do to make sure that all children, all of them, are recovered from learning loss? It's children from our most struggling community. I went into H.G. Hills last week in Goodlettsville. I was checking out. It was a teenager checking me out. I don't even know how we got on the conversation about education, but we did. And all of a sudden, then another person that was checking out in the other register, who was a mother who has a child in school, she starts talking. And then there's another child who works there that's in school. And they began to talk about their struggles in the virtual setting, the struggles, period. Even when they were in person, right? It just worsened, but they were still struggling all along. And the boy looked at me, he said, and I have ADHD. And I can't sit on that computer all day long. I'm struggling. Everybody is struggling. And so I want to see a plan to recover them, to rebuild the confidence in those who had it, and to give confidence to those who never did, that our education system is going to make sure that our children are taken care of.
Ms. Sonia brought up a point, and I just wanted to say this to add the confidence. One of the things I said to Ms. Sonia the other day was that I don't want them to break my son's spirit. You got a child that who was a great student before this virtual situation, and now we're in this virtual situation, and you guys are telling him he's failing. you're taking away his confidence and his will. We got to rebuild these kids up. We have to give it back to them, because if they're not confident in their ability, then they're going to give up. And we don't want them to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the navigators? Speaking of, what the hell are the navigators?
Do we have navigators?
What the hell are they, John? Where they at?
Yeah, they navigating. They're trying to navigate. Again, what I'm hearing is different, right? Is no uniformity. At some schools, I hear it's going really well with the navigators. At some schools, I hear it's non-existent. And I think if there's no accountability to really do it well, why even do it? And I think that's what we're hearing. Like, some parents have said, yep, I get a call every week. But a lot of parents are saying, I got a call one week, didn't get a call for the rest of the month, or I ain't received one call. So we got to get it where it's that across the board. Because as we talk about equity, I'm pretty sure the schools that are not getting the right resources, like the navigators, are the schools that are already struggling. And we've seen it with the kid that we've been talking to who is struggling to get online.
Can I say something? When I was taking a shower today, I was thinking, it came to me. I look at stuff from the issue realm and the problem realm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very visual, and I'm thinking about, if you make a circle, the circle is the issue. All of the different things that we're talking about, if you put them inside the circle, there's problems. It's just all these problems, but there's an overlying issue around it. I'm just going to tell you what I think it is. And I said it out loud, talked to myself in the shower. I ain't crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I asked myself, I said, self, who is really the visionary of MNPS? Where there's no vision, the people perish. I don't know. I don't even know what the vision is. See, you got a director of school, and then you got all these superintendents. Then you got these principals. And you got all these different things going on in everybody's school. So everybody is having their own vision. Some people are not visionaries. Let me tell you something. There can only be one visionary in this system. So that's the problem. So I want to know what the vision is, who is the vision, and where are the vision carriers. That's what came to me in the shower. There needs to be one vision, one visionary, and vision carriers. Everybody can't have the vision. Meaning they can't create the vision. They don't have the vision. But what is happening is you've got all these different people with their own vision. It's obvious, because even if you talk about a problem within the issue, navigators who are working in this place but not working in that place. Somebody had the vision of navigators, right? Somebody came up with that. This is our vision for navigators. And so what should have happened is there should have been vision carriers of that vision. But what happened was a vision, a vision, a vision, a vision, a vision, a vision, a vision. Ain't gonna work. Who is the visionary? What is the vision? And do the vision carriers know that they're carrying a vision and they know their responsibility? That's what I want to know.
And to add on to that, we talk about all these different systems in place. We talk about navigation. We talk about something earlier. There's one way to do it, and everybody needs to be uniform in doing it the exact same way. If you make your navigation calls, this is what you need to do. If you're doing that, everything needs to be like you said. These people calling over here. This might call and say, "How you doing?" Fine. Hang up. We need one way to do it.
Yeah, it's like how we do it at our school. I'm like, but aren't y'all all schools? Like, you can't. If I got a child in 3 different MNPS schools, the navigator program is the navigator program. It should not be carried out differently from school to school. Why would it be?
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be a policy. The policy is this is what we do. The practice is this is how we do it. And there needs to be some uniformity. And so whoever came up with this vision of a director of school, different superintendents, and then each principal do it different in their school, you monkeying it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of your issues that's causing your problems in your school. I said what I said.
Yep. So coming down the pike, so I want to say in 2009, Tennessee was awarded a Race to the Top grant, and a lot of people around the state applauded that and said it gave us the needed resources in order to effectively educate kids. And as we look at the news, based on the last stimulus package, 1.1 billion is coming to Tennessee. And in my opinion, I think we used a lot of consultants. We did a lot of studies, and that money really didn't make it down to the students. And so right now it's coming. We got 1.1 billion, but we also got another 100 million that they're going to dedicate into literacy. And so right now we got 1.2 billion that's going to be put in that's supposed to be put in our schools in the next 12 months. What do we think is going to happen with that? Well, what do we hope happens, and then what usually happens?
I was still my time to Fanya and Miss Kanisha.
Yeah.
Well, what I think is going to happen is we're going to hire a whole bunch of consultants, and they're going to come in and they're going to write a plan, and they're going to talk about the plan. They're going to discuss the plan, and we're never going to implement the plan, and we're going to waste the money. And then those computers that were supposed to get to the kids will never get to them.
The money can't be used for computers.
No, I'm just saying, we still waiting for the ones from last year. So it's just,
Yeah.
Oh, they in the trash can with the charges they throw away.
They forgot, yeah.
What do I think? Vendors are gonna get money.
Mm-hmm.
Folk ain't gonna know how to tap into the resources.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be money for resources, online resources. Money put in to build, and parents ain't even gonna know to access them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this right here. It's going to be wasted. Mm-hmm. It's not going to get to our most struggling communities. When you fix your most struggling communities, everybody eats. Everybody eats. Everybody. We're going to waste 100. So I'm gonna speak for MNPS. We're gonna waste $110 million. We're gonna waste it. Yeah, folk throwing away charges for computers. Some things are $25, $35 a piece.
The off-brand are $25 when I go there.
My bad.
They $50 a piece. They deal charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know they in the trash can. We ain't lying. Call us and ask if we lying. We'll show you a picture of it. We're gonna waste. There's no leadership. I said what I said. Mm-hmm. If it is, show it to me. Show me. I ain't from the show me state, but I want to see it. Mm-hmm. What's that song? I know. The Rihanna, turn on the lights for me, baby. Mm-hmm. Extra bright. Show me. I'm gonna call them out. They're gonna waste it. Kids gonna still be getting all F's. They ain't gonna teach them how to read. Teachers gonna sit on the sofa on virtual learning in they rollers and not teach. Yeah, I said what I said. Folk ain't gonna respond to people. It's the same bullshit. Unless the people under the sound of my voice demand better. See, we can talk all we want. So I'm saying this. but it's talk. We got to demand better. So when you're ready out there, parents, let's go get that 110 million for our kids. Let's go for it. We're coming for it. But at 110. But if we don't call this thing out and call it to the table, it's going to be wasted. For sure. It's going to be wasted. It's going to be wasted.
When you say wasted, it's like you're talking about the system. What's wrong with the system? And it's like the system ain't broke. It's working the way it's designed. That money's going to be spent to widen the gap.
You got people that don't know what they're doing. I mean, I'm just going to call it out, man. We got people that I'm just going to say at this point, and I can say it and they can prove me wrong. Man, they don't know what to do with that $110 million. They don't know what they're doing.
It's gonna be used to widen the gap. It's gonna be used to close the gap. If we don't say anything about it or go get what's ours, that's what it'll be used for. The have and have not.
Yeah.
That's the have.
Yeah. And this is on top of the $9 billion we got in April from the COVID funding. And so
you got how much?
$9 billion.
Wait a minute. You talking about in Tennessee?
Yeah. Well, across the country in April. In Tennessee, I'll look it up. But I want to say it was at least it was over 100 million. And that's what they used to buy the laptops and
throw away the chargers. Okay, go ahead. Buy the laptops and throw away the chargers. Okay, go ahead.
Yep. So that's a lot of money. It's more money than we have ever seen. And we don't see any changes. And we understand like they got to put together systems. But when we think about our budgets, our personal and our home budgets, and we think about billions of dollars, let's say for us that would have been an extra 100,000. We're gonna do something with 100,000 in our own household, right?
If you know how to manage,
yeah,
you prioritize and you set goals. I am not confident that this school district is capable of managing $110 million and using it for what? Tell me what you want to use it for. You say everybody got a laptop. Okay, so we don't need no laptop and it can't be used for that.
They don't have one.
Where is your plan to recover learning loss? You don't have that, and that's what the money is supposed to be used for. You can use a percentage of that money for capital budget, right? So what you gonna do? So what you gonna do with that? You can't fix up no gym. You can't build no gym and no sporting facilities or anything like that. You already got 10 million sitting out there in Bellevue worth of land that you ain't did shit with, that them people didn't need out there when our kids over here got holes in the roof. What you gonna do with it, people?
Yeah.
We need accountability. We need oversight. And I'm not talking about you are accountable to yourself. You need to be accountable to us. We need parent accountability. I don't think that this should be a situation where the school board or the school system makes this decision. Parents need to be involved, and we need to see, and we want to have a report of where the money is going and how it's being spent. Just like I asked who paid for the Florida virtual school, how much it cost, and who did the research, because we already seen the research if you Google that it's it's an insufficient system, but nobody still has answered that question yet. I've asked several people.
This is what we're going through. And just as parents on this feed, like I just ask you guys to remain vigilant and follow us, because I think, again, Kanisha may be able to do it by herself, Sonya, myself, or Torvis. But when you have 4 people and you grow that number to 8 and then 16 and then 50 plus, like people going to start listening, but they are banking on the fact that we'll do it individually. We'll send them an email here or there. We'll say something on social media. But I think the power for us to really get it get something done. And again, the small things that we've talked about, the navigators and the maps, like we have gotten things done, and we got to continue to take it up and raise the stakes because we just got a lot of stuff to work on. And we know a lot of resources are coming down the pipe. And like Sonia said, they're going to need help. Like if sometimes people don't want to admit what they don't know, they need help. We need to help them. Like Candace said, power in numbers.
Yeah, and I think what we're looking for, we're asking for is vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Say you don't know. You never know who we know. We know out north that might be able to help you. Out south, like we ain't stupid, as you can see. I think they know that now. Parents ain't stupid.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, some of us have a high IQ than some of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, be vulnerable. Say, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know how to close the achievement gap. I don't, what we're doing is not working. Like in literacy, like it's not optional to teach our children how to read. That is not an option. That is a right. We have the right to know how to read. And so to not do what the Sonia says, to teach children how to read, and to do things like balanced literacy when you know that ain't right, or to not follow your strategic plan of training and developing your teachers in literacy, it's ludicrous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bunch of talk and slides and PowerPoints, and no evidence of progress being made. And so we cannot return to business as usual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so we're 1 minute over, but just want to wrap up with just final statements from everybody. This is our first access denied in 2021. We've had really good feedback. Over 23, 25 people have joined in at once. Over 47 people have joined in overall, and we have a ton of comments. But any last words, Torvis? We'll start with you, and then we'll move to Ms. Burke.
Last words is everybody be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Be ready. If you have a child in the metro school system, you got family members, we want to talk to you this year, 2021. We need your help. So each one bring one. Inbox me, ask for Propel, however you want to do it. But we need to really get our numbers. We really need to create this movement, and we need all the parents in it to make this thing work.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And I'm just going to compound off of what Torvis said. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ready, contact. If you know me, contact me. Contact, someone here. Let's get together. Let's mobilize. We need to be moving, because if we stand still, they're going to stand still. Mm-hmm. We have to make some noise, and I'm ready to make it. And I'm going to be here all the way, because I'm fighting for mine, and I'm going to fight for those others who are not able to fight for theirs. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. And I will go. Yeah, I think in the final thing, I think it's just continuing to add on to that, like it's power in numbers. Candace said it, and Victoria said they need to say they don't like our kids. And when they need help, they need to let us know. I just think time is out for inaction. Like it's time to see some real positive growth. I think it's really time I just see so many parents who are so strong individually, and that's just what they're banking on, like for us to stay as individuals and not come together as a team. And so I'm going to say my final words are, let's keep this train moving. Let's do the right thing by kids. Let's be the four musketeers, but let's be a parent mob who gets it done.
I'm going to say this. We can't do this by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Each and every last one of you and more. This is about children and children only. There are no hidden agendas. There are no, none of that going on. This is about saving our children
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that they have a future, making sure that they're, our visions for our children come to pass. I want to bring this up because I just got an email from the district that says that MAP assessments will begin Monday, January the 11th through January the 29th. Parents, find out when your child's MAP assessments start and reach out to the school if you need assistance.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not getting a response, we need you to inbox us. And so make sure that you guys know that the MAP assessments begin January the 11th through the 29th. I think that's very, very pertinent and significant. On January the 25th, we'll have a special guest here that will go over MAP assessments and that data. So that will help you with this time of being able to understand what's going on. There's some opportunities for child care for those who are essential workers and MNPS families for daycare. There are no-cost breakfast and lunch grab-and-go meals. We continue through virtual learning. Meals can be picked up at any school and any bus stop 3 days a week by any child 18 or under. Let me see what else is significant on here. The virtual help centers are still going to be open throughout the remainder of the school year. The district will continue operating the outdoor virtual learning help centers while schools are in session Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Glencliff, Maplewood, Overton, and Pearl Cone. I have used it. It was pretty quick. I took a student up to Maplewood. So I really advise you guys to use this resource if you need it. Students or parents will be able to talk with support personnel who can help them with technology issues, issue new or replacement laptops, Wi-Fi hotspots, or connect you with the district resource necessary during virtual learning. And we got to hold them accountable to that. There is a parent hotline, 1-800-CHILDREN. Nurture the Next Office of Parent helpline that you can call 24/7 with any parenting questions or concern. Trained counselors are available to answer your questions or connect you with local resources. I suggest that you use that. This time we have to take care of ourselves. We gotta ask for help. We gotta take care of our mental health. Family Safety Center. The Metro Office of Family Safety operates a family safety center. And this is, it said the contact information, hours of operation are available on their website at ofsnashville.gov, and we will post that. OF as in Frank, S as in Sam, .nashville.gov. So make sure you guys tap into those resources. It's very important. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to visit our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, and also our website at NashvillePropel.org. See you guys next week.
All right. Thank you, guys.